Welcome back to another video of the Husker Breakdown. So in today's video, I wanted to discuss Nebraska's game versus the Illinois Fighting Illini. So I'm gonna do a video, like an in-depth prediction for each team Nebraska plays, like before the season starts, like late August, whatever. But I wanted to talk about this game because there's something about this game that's just interesting because I feel like it's just a trap game. And why do I say it's a trap game? Because the reason why I think it's a trap game is because, for number one, it's on a Friday night. Friday night, 7 p.m., November 6th, in Champaign. And this is the Illinois team that's lost 2 home games in the last several years. Or the last 2 years. So they're a much better team than when Nebraska last beat them in 2023, which was actually at Champaign. So, here's the interesting thing. So, Illinois loses a lot of production. I mean, they lose their starting quarterback, Luke Altmaier. They lost they lost receivers like Hank Betty. They lost Gabe Jacas, their defensive end, who was a very good edge rusher. I mean, that's a massive loss. And they also lost uh, three defensive linemen that I believe got plenty of snaps. And in my opinion, they didn't really reinforce the defensive line. Plus, they lost their defensive coordinator, which is probably the catalyst for losing a lot of those defensive linemen and also like linebackers, which they also lost. So Illinois, I mean, they did bring some decent guys to the portal. Like they brought Hayton Hauser. He's from East Carolina. He's now at their quarterback. They brought in. I mean, we can just look at their roster real quick. I mean, they brought in. I mean, Jay Sean Platt. They brought in multiple receivers: Ty Robinson, Alex Perry. There's multiple different guys. They did bring in a good. I think probably one of their better transfers is Jake Renfro from Wisconsin. He was a good center for them, and that's kind of part of that typical Wisconsin strong offensive line that they like to have, and Nebraska was able to nab him through the portal, or not Nebraska, excuse me, Illinois. And then they're probably one of their better defensive linemen that they grabbed was probably their nose tackle, the nose tackle, yeah, Daryl Prater. I mean, he was pretty solid at Jacksonville, in my opinion. He's definitely going to be a plus with the right development from Illinois. And then I mean, other than that, though, that's the only thing because they lost they literally lost all of their main guys at these positions. And that's the truth. And then after they also lost David Olano, and he was a good kicker for Illinois. So they lost him. They got Ethan McCulkey back. Or I think I'm saying his name. Hopefully saying his name right. He transferred back to Illinois after spending a year at Washington, excuse me. So, just a very interesting. I'm really curious to see like what you know what this game looks like. And so, like I said, I believe this game is a trap game because, like I said, a it's a night game on a Friday night after Nebraska plays Washington, and that to me is, I mean, that's a tough game for Nebraska. Then Illinois, they're coming off on a Friday night. I believe they play. We can take a look real quick. I don't think it's gonna matter. Let me just move my screen real quick. Let's look at their schedule real quick because I'm really curious to see who they play in 2026. Right before they play. Okay, so they play at Maryland. So they're actually coming back home after a Maryland game. Okay, so so they're going back to Maryland, or coming home from Maryland. So they beat Maryland by 18 last year, and Illinois had a pretty easy schedule last year. There's no denying that. I think they weren't quite as good as they were um, back in 2024 because they lost, like, Pat Bryant, all that stuff. But they're still good. Don't get me wrong. They're still good. Had they played Nebraska last year, they probably would have beaten us because Nebraska's defensive line was terrible. And that's, like, what I'm saying. Like, so I feel like if this game, like, wasn't a trap game, and I think it's just because Illinois' talent is pretty equal to Nebraska's. I mean, let's look at let's look at this depth chart because they have, Salil Valentine at where is it? Right here, at running back. That's a pretty good running back. They also have Caden Fegan, so at their tight end position. He's actually not their listed starter. Christian Abney is, but he's a very athletic guy. He's entering his senior season. He was a running back for a long time. He was a good running back, but we'll see how he does. They also have Aiden Lothry, who, these are experienced running backs. Like, they're going to be bruisers against Nebraska's defensive line. That's the truth. No matter how good Nebraska's defensive line is, these running backs, Salil Valentine, Aiden Lothry, they are going to be good. There's no denying that. They I think, are good players. and I think they've been with Illinois for a while, and so has Caden Fegan's been there his whole career. I think so has Salil Valentine and Aiden Lawfrey. So this game, like I said, I mean they have talent, and then like I said, Caden Fegan, very athletic guy, and they're not going to be quite as good in the quarterback position with Katin Houser because he just isn't as good as Luke Allmeyer. That's the truth. Luke Allmeyer was one of the best quarterbacks that Illinois had in many many years. I mean, Tommy DeVito was good, but he was only there for 1 year, so I mean, hard to say. But so yeah. Anyway, I'm just kind of looking at the roster because their roster is very similar to Nebraska's. That's the truth. Their roster is very very similar, and I think that's part of why it's a trap game. Other than the fact that it's obviously night game on a Friday night, which has kind of been the tradition for Nebraska against Illinois. Their defense, I'm just kind of looking at some names here. I mean, it's just not quite as good. Their defense, in my opinion, they're a multiple 3-3-6, and they also run a spread offense. They're prone to pass the ball, which that's very true. Illinois is been known. Bielema likes to have his offenses throw the ball, and that is just the truth. So, kind of wrap things up here. What, in my opinion, could Nebraska do to avoid a bad loss against Illinois on the road? Because this is a very defining game for Nebraska, whether or not you want to admit it. Illinois has now been a good team. They're not historically. They weren't. And they've been, they missed a bowl game. They've missed 2 bowl games under Bielema, and this is entering, I believe it's his 6th season. Let me just count in my head real quick. Yeah, his 6th season, because yeah, that's right. And he's missed a bowl game in 2021 and 2023, respectively. So, yeah, very interesting fact. But Illinois, so like I said, what could they do what could Nebraska do to avoid a bad game here? Like, to avoid this trap game that I think is so evident in my opinion. Night game after Washington, it's going to be a tough place for Nebraska to go in and win, in my opinion. It's probably going to be a pretty sold-out crowd for Illinois. They will have fans show up, I'm sure. Not as big of a stadium as, per se, Nebraska's stadium, for sure. But, no doubt Illinois is going to be showing up, Illinois fans, because, Illinois has been a good football team as of late. Since Bielema's gone there, they've had 3 very good winning seasons. So, back to my point, though. What could Nebraska do to avoid a bad game against Illinois? Because, once again, this game, Washington, Rutgers aren't bad. That's a team that Nebraska should beat. They have KJ Duff, Antoine Raymond. Those are 2 very good athletes for Rutgers. I think that this is one of the most defining games, for sure. It's going to be a hard game, because, like I said, Illinois defends their territory well. So, what will it take for Nebraska? So, number 1, I believe that Nebraska needs to not let Illinois and Katin Houser just pick apart our secondary. Katin Houser, this guy right here, he will pass it well. He did well at East Carolina. In fact, actually, when he played on Michigan State and they beat us at East Lansing, he was able to get some very good passes. We didn't even force an interception. He did well against us that game. He played, he played very well, and he's I think only a freshman at the time. I think he was. So, we can't let that happen, because when we lost to Illinois in 2024, in overtime, Nebraska's secondary got picked apart, and that's the truth. They picked us apart. And our defense, I won't lie, our defense really was, it was good in stopping the run, but in stopping the pass, it took a step back for sure compared to 2023. So we can't let that happen. That's just a fact. If you want to avoid this game in a trap, if you want to avoid this trap game being a terrible loss like it was against Minnesota where we got blown out, and a Minnesota team that really was not good at all. Their only wins were at home and against very mediocre teams. And their bowl game, the team they beat was New Mexico. And that, just to give you how good New Mexico is, they are in they're in I think a group of 5 conference. So that's not a good bowl win or anything to brag about. And it was won by 3 points in overtime. So just saying. Didn't mean to go on a tangent there, but you see what I'm saying. They can't let that happen. Our defense, our secondary, they've got to show up. Addison Williams, his coaches better come to true light here, because that really good 2027 recruiting class, it's not going to want to go to Nebraska if we miss a bowl game. And we don't want to let Illinois just thump us. That's the truth, okay? So that's number 1. Then number 2, I feel like Nebraska has just got to, they also have to stop. They have to stop the run. That's also just fundamental. Because if we can't stop the run, they will bully us. Illinois will, they will run it down our throats. Salil Valentine, Aiden Lawfrey, you think they're going to go easy on us? no running back went easy on us last year. We made every single running back look like Emmett Johnson last year. So we had to stop the run. I mean, I honestly should have said that before talking the pass, but because Illinois does like to pass before they really run it, in my opinion, that's going to be something to watch out for. So can't let Illinois really just. We got to play good defense. That's the point. Like, we have to play good defense on Illinois and not let them just kick our butts in every yardage, okay? Because that's very important that we do not let that happen. And then number 3, I mean, we have to get pressure on Hauser. But more importantly, we have to sack him because we would get pressures last year. We just wouldn't tackle. We would somehow just not tackle. Like against Iowa, we had so many missed tackles against those guys. So we have to tackle him because I mean, Kane Hauser will beat us with his legs. He will. He did it against Michigan State, or when we played him against. Yeah, when we were playing against Michigan State, he beat us with his legs. It was evident again and again. I mean, he's more experienced than he was than when he was at Michigan State, so he's gonna be even better. And then, like, this will be a tough game, for sure. In Illinois, like I said, they've only lost 2 games at home, since 2024. So, that's important. They have to get sacks. They also have to create turnovers. Because, I mean, this is a game that Nebraska's got to be able to win, in my opinion. It's kind of I mean, yes, they could get the bare minimum by beating only their 3 non-con, which are very easy, the Michigan State, Maryland, and Rutgers. Sure. Take the easy road, just bare minimum, squeak a bowl game, sure. But who wants to do that? Like, no one wants to do that. Like, that's lame. And I really hate to do that, in my opinion. I wish Nebraska could get a game where they're probably going to, I mean, they might, right now they're a touchdown favorite. And I think it's purely because Illinois, their defense is their weakness this year. That's the facts. Their defense and their quarterback are their weakness. That doesn't mean Hauser's bad. He's just not as good as Altmaier. That's the truth. And I think the receivers aren't quite as good either. So, that being said, like, Nebraska, they have another key. I mean, they have to be able to execute on offense when they play Illinois. Because if they can't, get anything going on offense, like if Calandria, like if he can't get anything going on offense, like then, I mean, I don't know. And our running backs, I mean, apparently Mekhi Nelson just got put in jail for a aggravated battery or something like that. So Isaiah Mosley, who I think was our predicted starter, I think he is. He better show up and show out, or maybe Jamal Rule, whatever. But more importantly, like, we just got to be able to make plays. That's it. And then also create turnovers. So really, I know this wasn't meant to seem like a prediction. This is more so just kind of to seem like a general, like, what Nebraska needs to do to avoid a terrible trap game. Because I don't want to play them like Minnesota. That's the truth. I do not want to have another Minnesota up here. Minnesota, who absolutely was, they were not good last year. There's no other way around it. They squeaked all their wins at home against teams that ended up missing bowl games. Like, that's how bad they were. So, like, let's be realistic here. Minnesota had a very easy schedule last year. Other than us, that they beat by 18. They squeaked the rest of their wins at home by teams that missed bowl games. So those to show how bad Minnesota was. Now, Illinois is going to be better than Minnesota. That's the truth. Illinois is a good team. They've been good under Bielema. They might be like a 6-7 win team, though. They might take a step down, especially with that defense. And I think a defensive coordinator that, in my opinion, doesn't have any ambition to succeed. I mean, he's just retired from Montana at the FCS level, and that's all he's coached. I don't really think he's going to want to change his schemes. I mean, that's why he's running a 3-3-6, and we know how we as Nebraska fans would know that a 3-3-6, I mean, that's obviously multiple 3-3-6, but putting 3 defensive linemen up front, you really think that's going to work, Bobby Hawk? I don't think so. But anyway, we'll see what happens, guys. Anyway, that is it for me today, guys. I will see you in the next one. Until next time, go Big Red, and see you later.